with our podium finishers from tonight's main event. Our winner, Logan Seavey, our second place finisher, Justin Grant, and our third place finisher, Darren Pittman. Logan, if you could use the mic, and all three of you, if you could use the mic. Logan, describe that race. What was it like out there today, and how aggressive did you feel like you could be? And then when that caution came around, did you feel like that was your opportunity?
Yeah, at the point of the caution, I didn't really know where my opportunity was going to come. I went to, from third to the lead to fourth, and felt like a blink of an eye. So yeah, once it's like Justin slid me, and I looked up, and I was in fourth real quick, so I had to kind of settle back in, and made just a few minor adjustments with my car, and it was like instantly I could hammer the top really hard, and then I could still kind of roll around the bottom and make speed. So yeah, I don't know. It's like the bottom was almost greasy early when we all kind of bailed on it, and then there was still a lot of grip down there when it did come in. So there was always speed down there. It was just kind of like real narrow on entry. They didn't really work the entries at all, but then the exits had a bunch of grip. So yeah, I mean, once we kind of got a reset there and kind of went back at him, and Gavin had a bunch of speed, and then he made like one bad lap, and I was to his bumper and slid him, and didn't seem like I could really get away from him very well, but yeah, we were able to piece it together there at the end.
How confident do you feel now going into Saturday? You've won in this building. You've won on Saturday night, plus Swindell Speed Lab has been fast all week. So how confident do you go into Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, I think as confident as ever. Our cars have looked really, really good, and yeah, I mean, like I said, even early when my car felt just a little bit not exactly what I was looking for, I still had great speed. When I executed good laps and hit the cushion right or hit the berm right, I could have pretty good speed. So yeah, just like I said, as confident as ever. Our cars are as good as they've been, I think, here, and we've got ourselves in a decent spot now.
Justin, you were able to jump out to the lead for a little bit. Just describe a little bit what it was like out there tonight, and did you feel like you ever had a shot to go after him there late in the race?
No, not so much late in the race. He was really, really strong there late. Yeah, felt really good tonight in the qualifier. Really good first part of that feature there. Really first probably 2/3 of the feature, and then got to struggle in there a bit. Lap traffic was kind of a saving grace for us a little bit. Kind of slowed the pace down enough that I could get back to Logan, and I felt like we were all right when the pace dropped just a little bit, but. The entry speed there, when it was high, I had trouble late landing where I wanted to land, and that just made me really susceptible to getting slid, and then it's tough. Then you're taking on water, and you're just
Right.
swinging, trying to get out of a hole at that point.
When you're in situations like that, when you're battling with a number of cars, 3-4 cars, how do you balance being aggressive and knowing that if I finish in this spot, I'm going to have a good spot for Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, you want to lock in, right? I don't, I think the balance, I think there's maybe a little more balance between running first and second, as opposed to running second and third. I think, you might as well sell out and try and run second if you want to have a shot on Saturday. Be tough to, really tough to do that from the B main. So, you don't really want to be in an E or whatever it is now if you crash the thing, but at the same time, you kind of, wasting your time if you're not locked in.
Darren, you've had some success in this building before. What was your final few laps like? I know you had closed into Justin a little bit, got there to second. Did you feel like you were going to be able to get that second spot?
I mean, had it at the white. Had no idea what to do with it going into turn one. I mean, I could hit the bottom pretty good in 3 and 4 for a few laps on the restarts, but I knew it wasn't the fastest way around the racetrack after a few laps. And, it's what got me there. I hit the bottom again in 3 and 4 coming to the white, and knew I had, if I opened my entry, I felt like Justin was probably going to have a run off of 4, so I knew I was going to get slid. So just chose to slide myself and hope it was enough. And I kind of felt like I knew that if I could, get off a 2 in second, that, I could, somehow get it to the line. But yeah, just wasn't enough. He came out a little bit short. He was able to cross over me. I haven't seen it, but obviously I'm assuming he must have entered on the top and got crossed over him. And yeah, still, he slid himself in 3 and 4, and I thought I hit the bottom again pretty solid, coming to the checkered, and at least made it closer than it was going down the backstretch. So honestly, you know, when Justin says he has no idea, you know, he's not landing where he wants to, I don't even know where I'm landing. So I try to tell myself to run harder and harder, and just trying to figure out, like, I don't hustle a car, you know, historically very well. In a midget, you have to. And so it's always just really about me finding what's comfortable and figuring out how hard can I push the car, you know, to the point of either being fast or, you know, failure.
You're still will be towards the front of a B main on Saturday. How confident do you feel in the car, and how confident will you feel, you know, come Saturday?
Yeah, B main suck. I mean, I don't care if you're on the front row or not. I've missed the last 4 of these, and, you know, felt like we contended for a few wins, you know, pretty consistently several years back, and just haven't really been able to find that consistency. I think I was as good as I've been in a lot of years tonight, but, you know, I think if we get in the A main, like, historically, we run pretty solid if I get in, but I miss an awful lot of them. So I'll just feel really good when the checker flag falls.
Are you glad the video board has moved?
I don't care. I don't still look at it. They could put it going into turn 1. I'm 10-2 and focusing on what I need to be doing. I'm not in the same league as these guys to watch TV and drive and change shocks and do all this other stuff. So
with that, we'll open it up for questions.
I tried to look.
Tyler Burnett, FloRacing.
And I went ahead and just botched the bottom one lap, trying to look at it. Still never saw it, and I was like, that must mean it's time to move.
Darren, you're primarily a sprint car driver, so you said you're kind of a part-time Chili Bowl guy when you come in here. So what's it mean to run up front with the midget guys and be right there to try to put this thing in the A?
Yeah, I don't know. I think everybody asks that all the time. Like, how do guys come in and be successful here that aren't midget guys? And I don't know. I mean, of any of the guys that are locked in, I don't know that any of them say they're midget guys. I mean, like, they're really good race car drivers. I mean, obviously, you know, they run both or, you know, 3 different classes all year long. But, I mean, I think, you know, Larson's not a midget guy. Bell's not a midget guy. I mean, there's, you know, you can go down the list. I mean, Leary is definitely not a midget guy. I don't even know if he races a midget all year long. He's mainly a sprint car guy. So I think that's what's just so cool about this event is the best race car drivers getting good equipment, come out here and they find a way to win and find a way to be successful. And so it's fun to be able to come in and run a new discipline and go, you know, run against guys that are, you know, top tier, whatever they're doing all year long, and try to compete with them.
Matthew Dillner, FloRacing. Justin, tell me what happened with you and Miller there. You know, because you guys were really, really racing hard, and I don't know if he caught the wall. I couldn't see it, but tell me what happened there.
Yeah, I used him up pretty good the lap before, off of 4, and then we got back around to 4, and he tried to use me up, and I seen him coming across and went ahead and stopped, like, just got out of the way. And it was a hole I wasn't going to drive into there, and he hammered the wall off of 4 and got to flipping there. So, yeah, I was glad to miss him after it happened. But yeah, I think he was hot from the lap before and just cooked her across my nose.
Kurt?
The big section of that race was like another battle between you two. It's been like fun to watch those, but like my thought after was you guys are fairly different. You guys would both admit. But Logan, what's it like to race against Justin Grant for probably 20 or 25 races this year for the win? And then on the other side, Justin, what's it like to race against Logan for a win?
Well, I just kind of whispered. I don't know if the mic picked it up, but I'm like, man, Gavin must not race with Justin enough to know, like, you're not really going to win those battles. You know, you gotta know who you're around, and first of all, keep your head cool. You know, and if you're gonna try to use somebody up, like, you got to do it in the right spot and know where the racetrack is and know where what the outcome can be if you do screw it up. And he obviously I didn't see it yet, but sounds like he just came across the track with way too much speed, and regardless couldn't get out the other end. So like I kind of mentioned in my interview, it's like, you know, I obviously had passed him for the lead. I was pretty sure he was in second. We got the lap traffic, and it was like the first time my pace fell down. It's like, boom, there's Justin on my front bumper. It's like lands, a textbook, in reality, a textbook slider. It's a little short, but we're in traffic racing for the lead at, a huge event. So, those are just little things. It's like, man, there's so many things that can go on in these races. You have to know every detail, and it's one of those things like, man, if I would have peeked at the board or really just had some intuition that I got off at 4 bad, and there was just enough room to squeak in there, and if there's one guy that's going to make his car fit in the proper hole, it's Justin. And like I said, he landed on my bumper, and I bailed out of the throttle, and I was 4th and maybe even 5th, I think, from all that chaos, and it's just a chili bowl, and it's like I said, racing with some of the best guys in the world that can put their car in the right places to not only pass you but put you in a horrible spot, which is at the end of the day, it's a little bit his job to do, and to try to win that race for his team. So I said it's no hard feelings, just mostly because like you go down the other end, you can give it right back, and we're gonna come out the other. Both of us will most likely come out the other end. So. Like I said, it's just part of racing with, certain guys. You got to know who you're racing around and make the right decisions.
That's very nice.
Take,
That was very nice.
Okay.
take one more.
Me?
No,
Not even close.
no.
I
Miles,
lifted.
did you hear that?
One more.
I didn't say Miles.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Justin.
Oh, mine.
Yeah, they wanted you.
Well, let me no, I've got a ton of respect for Logan. He's a heck of a good race car driver. And we've had some pretty good battles here the last few years, not just here, but out on the road and doing that across all 3 series. And yeah, it seems like every night you roll into a racetrack, you're going to have to beat Logan. And he's really good. He's really good at putting his car in the right spots on the racetrack, and you can't ever really count Logan out. I feel like you can run him down and drive by him, and he's going to go to work and figure out how to run you back down and how to get the most back out of his car. So that's there's certain guys you put them away and you don't worry about them. Logan, I would say you put him away and you still gotta worry about him. He's hard to ruffle too, which is irritating. Like, I feel like that's kind of one of my better maneuvers is I'll plug it on his front bumper and piss him off and then go back to work, and he's mad and I'm driving away. And Logan's hard to fluster. You can land one on his front bumper and he takes a breath and goes back to work. And so it's a lot of fun racing with him. It's fun. I know he's going to put me in tight spots when he can. I know I'm going to put him in tight spots or I'm going to put him in tight spots. And I know he's going to know to keep himself in a spot where he can still win the race. I feel like, in what we do, night in and night out, a lot of what we do is being willing to lose a corner to try and win the race. And Logan's really good at that. So it's fun to race with him, and it keeps you on your toes for sure. That was mine.
That's great.
Thank you.
I liked it. Yeah,
Not too much, right?
that was perfect.
Mike, can you tell what you guys drew?
I drew a 3, I think. Yeah, 3.
I drew a 9.
Are you guys happy with that?
I told him I think 9's the best number. Can you hear that? I told him 9's the best number.
Why do you think me going out there is better?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's room to fail a little bit there, but I do think, getting out there, finding the racetrack. These harder tires, I think, get a little bit nicer as you run. I mean, usually it's a little bit tricky. Last year, Dason was running 4 above it and hammering it around there. So once he kind of gets it figured out, he's got 6, 7, 10. Sorry, all the kids are gonna laugh. I just said 6, 7, 6, 8, 10 laps. Of basically practice. Like I said, it's really just about winning that first 1 or 2, and then he's in a great spot. I think we've seen it with Hank a couple of years ago, and then Dason last year. But I'm sure Justin will have enough fuel this year. So, I think 9's great. But yeah, I drew a 3, and I'm obviously happy with that. Can't be off the second row. So, yeah.
Question for Justin. You've raced this event many years with RMS, but these last few years you've been with Chad Boat. Describe that relationship with that team and what's it been like to run with Chad Boat these last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun racing with Chad. Chad's really sharp, and Chad was a really good race car driver himself. So it's fun to work with him on the car side of stuff, on the driving side of stuff. He has a good perspective of what he thinks that I need to go do to do a good job, and that's really really helpful. And then have a lot of fun working with him on the car side as well. And Dace and I have very different styles of how Dace makes speed versus how I make speed, and so that's been something that we've been working through to get me comfortable in the car, and to where I can get the most out of a package that suits me. So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, thankful to be with Chad and with NOS Energy Drink making a lot of that possible. So yeah, a lot of fun there, but had a lot of fun over the years with RMS, with Rams before them, with CMR before that, back to the days of, Larry Gardner's car in here, and Dave and Wendy Thurston and all the people that have brought me to Chili Bowl's been really, really cool. It's been a dream for me to race here. So all those people have played a huge part in making that possible.